and I really hope I can't do the eyebrow thing. That was stupid. Just maybe, I don't know, I screwed it up. Build your next video. Build your next... I've done this 10 times! What is up, guys? Thank you for tuning in to this brand new series, the step-by-step build series. This series, I'm gonna show you step-by-step exactly what it takes, exactly how to, and exactly all my tips and tricks on how to put together a wonderful model for your collection. So stay tuned for this series. It will be coming out every month, and I'm just super excited for this because this is what I do. I share with you my stuff, and I communicate with you my stuff, and you communicate back with your stuff. So let's get into it. So one of the most difficult questions to answer for modelers, I think, and this actually came up from a conversation with me and my dad, is what is your favorite part about modeling? And I'd like you to answer this in the comments because I'm super interested to engage with you guys as well as do these videos for you. But this was, when he asked me this, when we kind of discussed it together, it was like, I don't know how to answer that. That's impossible. All things are good about it. So how can you answer that? And I think answering the question and figuring out what you really like about the hobby is the first step to picking your model. Me and my dad came up with a great name for it, and it is called the dream state. And basically, in the dream state, you imagine all of the stuff that you'd ever want in your collection, and you drool over it because it is awesome. And you have so many hopes and aspirations to your collection. And for me, I find that this is my favorite part. Putting collections together in my mind and doing things with my mind, thinking like diorama stuff and like model stuff and massive collection stuff and crazy things to do stuff. I find that that is my favorite part. It doesn't neglect from any other part, but you don't have to do any work to dream about it, and you don't really have to think that much because all you think about is airplanes anyway, so that's pretty normal. That is literally the best step, I think, for most of us, that we kind of miss out on too, because then we just rush and buy it, and then what do you have? You have the model now, which is great, which is awesome. Let's build it, you know? But the dream state is like the ultimate state of what you really want in your collection, which brings me to my next point, is what collection do you want to have? You know, do you want to have all of the same brand and all of the sweet stuff that one company made? Or are you the type of guy that, you know, you want different types of models? I'm the type of guy that wants one brand, but I want every single kind of a couple brands. So, you know, I have a whole collection of Rebel models. My collection is actually pretty awesome. It is literally of the same box art, type box art for Rebel kits. I have every single decal version for that specific airplane. So I just was a little bit ambitious at the start. I thought it would be manageable and I thought it would be cheap, but it's not. Big mistake. But was it? Definitely not. My collection is awesome. I really love seeing other people's collections, and that helps me dream even more. So what is it that you want out of your collection? You know, are you that guy that wants all types of different models and sizes and all types of stuff? I think that is awesome to do different sizes. 1/72 scale, I've heard that they are much easier to build. 1/48 scale is my scale. I can talk about it all day. It's just a more realistic scale for me, in between 1/32 and 1/72. It's kind of like the perfect combination of reality. You get nice detail and you get a nice finish, and it's a size that's not too big and too crazy. Or are you a big guy? You know, do you want a few models that are just ginormous? That's a deciding factor. Which leads me into your next venture, into the next thing. How much room do you have to store all this stuff? At the moment, I'm running out of room. And if you've been modeling for 30 years, I'm pretty sure you ran out a long time ago, because this stuff takes up some space. Let me tell you what. This is another thing to consider when buying all of these airplanes. One, storing the boxes, because you don't want to ruin the box art, right? I mean, maybe some of you don't care about the box art, but particularly I do. They're, you know, potentially $40 pictures. So it's important for me to maintain that sweet box art image. I think it goes with the kit well. And how much room do you have for your airplanes? If you got a whole basement, I guess you got a lot of room. If you just got one room, you don't really have a lot of room if you're into the hobby like I am. So consider that as well, venturing into your buy. I'm talking about how much room you have and talking about kind of, you know, your hobby room or your display room or whatever it is. You might want to think about how much work you want to put into these things. This is going to determine how well it looks over time. And, you know, I personally think that you can definitely do a model in a week. It's definitely possible. And also, it would still look good at the end. Now, mind you, this would be like a 40-hour work week on that model. It's not like a 2 hours here, 2 hours there. I'm saying you could put 40 hours into a model and it come out spanking new. If you wanted to spend a little bit more time in it and put more detail into it, it is important, but you still can come out with a nice finished model at the end of the week if you had a week off work or whatever. So this is an important step too, is because this is how quick you're going to fill up your space. And it's important to think about that when deciding your room, space area, display area, and how much work you want to put into it. If you're going with a Revel model and you want to put it and make it look perfect and put it in a sweet display case, spend all the money on it, you might want to sand off all those raised panel lines and put recessed panel lines in it. So if you don't want to do that, definitely don't get one of the older Revel model kits, because they are based off of the old monogram kits. So that's not a great route to take for maybe your first model. But if you didn't care about that and you just wanted a nice model to come out, you didn't want to put in, you know, a month's worth of work into a model, you just wanted to make it a nice quick build, Revel kits would be your answer. I mean, I can slap these together pretty quickly if I have time. And it's important to know that it is okay to do a model quickly. All those guys out there that are just cranking out these crazy kits and the engines that are opened up with all the crazy detailed parts, like, you don't have to do that in this hobby to be cool. To be cool is to make solid work and to just do your best. And even if it comes out terrible, most of these guys aren't going to tell you if it's terrible or not anyways. I won't, because you put the time into it and you made this hobby special for all of us. So deciding how much work you want to put into one of the models, you got to decide the brand and what you want and what that box art looks like. So the next step for this video is, what is the model for? You know, if you're considering all of these types of models and different brands, you're getting overwhelmed, you can't decide, think about what it's for maybe. You might want to put it in a snowy, cool diorama. You might want to put it in a lake all shot up and fired up. You might want to do something else with it, like build it for a friend, build it for a buddy, or build it for one of your parents or grandparents that maybe have fought in the war or are just interested in the subject. So think about maybe what that model is for. That could determine a better result and answer for you. So you've dreamed about the hobby, you decided what kind of collection you want, you decide how much work you want to put into the model, you decide what the model's for. Now it's time to decide what thing that you want. Do you want a big bomber? Or a fighter? Or like a tank? Maybe some miniatures. I mean, what is it that you really have an irk to build for whatever you're building for? You know, I guess this all comes down to your opinion about what you want to build and who you're building it for, what you're building it for. Thank you so much for tuning into this series. I really hope that it helps you pick out your first model if you're a new guy to the hobby. And if you're a veteran of this hobby, I hope that it helps you to maybe figure out something that you've never done before. These models back here are perfect for this video to show you I am giving all of these models away. There is a Wildcat, an Avenger, a Focke-Wulf, a Corsair, a Mustang, a Revel Corsair, another Mustang. I'm giving all these out away to you guys after I get 5,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider to do so. It would help me out a lot. And also you get a chance to win one of 10 models. These are just a few of them. One's top secret and really expensive, which I still have yet to buy. And the other is another surprise. So definitely check into subscribing to the channel to enter that giveaway. My past subscribers, you are already in it, and my future subscribers, I hope you consider to subscribe to be in this awesome giveaway. It's just a way for me to give back a little bit of what you guys gave already by subscribing. Another thing is stay tuned for this series next month. I will be racking up the kit and opening the box, which is also the next step. So stay tuned for that exciting adventure into this series as well. Like I always say, guys, let's get back to building.